And
Okay, we are on live broadcast right now,
we're on
Mr.
live.
Sunny. Yes, we are on live broadcast. Let me see. Yeah, we are on live broadcast right now. Welcome, 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 everyone. Good morning from my time zone here in Toronto, Canada. I know that today is election day. Nigerians have spoken. I have with me in the studio, all the way from the northern region of Nigeria, Mr. Sani Hanza is joining us today from the city of Kano. So, Mr. Hanza, what's going on right now? Have you voted?
But a good afternoon here in Nigeria, in Kano, precisely very close to Emias Palace. It's 2:43 right now with the Nigerian time, and I have voted, and voting is going on smoothly. And day before yesterday, there was some fracas, but today there's no report of any uprising or any abuse of uh, time or any problem. Everything is going on, and we're almost getting half of the time for the voting. We have total of 18 presidential candidates, and each state has uh, three senatorial seats, which from that 18 parties, then we have like Kano, because it has the highest local government, we have up to around that something House of Rep. Those are the people who are going to election and the presidential election. These are the
Yes,
categories.
I can hear you now. I can hear you because I was doing something. That's why. All
Yeah, I've
right.
already myself. I think it's recorded somehow. I can see it
So they
being
said, according to my understanding, they said the
recorded.
election has been very peaceful in Nigeria because I called my people back home this morning.
Yeah,
So,
there's no report of any violence so far. We don't know. Maybe it didn't get here, but with the
mm,
social media, if anything happen less than an hour, I should be able to go around and so far no any serious. I didn't see any reports of
mm,
violence or any trouble in the election.
okay. So, what do you think will be the prospect of to this election? Who is gonna win this election?
Well, you see, winning we can only predict by the
Mm,
science, political science, and what we see on the ground. But one thing that is very important in this election is two things. Number one, we solidify the unity of the North and the South. Like for me, I voted for Tinubu. So it's a solidification of the unity or of the division, the divide and rule by the British is like we're overcoming it. It's coming gradually. If you go through the history, at the time of Action Group and ANPC and CNC, the West will not vote for the North, and the North will not vote for the West. But largely by science, by what we think, today it is, the North is largely voting for somebody from the West, which is voted largely from the North. Then we came, there was an annulment. After annulment, there was a lot of trouble. Then the North also bring somebody like, what do you call him, Obasanjo, into power from prison. So those are development, I would say. If you don't have this development, nothing goes on. All about bridges, about development. The people's mind has to be one first. When people are one, then other things can follow. So it's a great development. And on the other side, to me, it's not very good sign. That is on the other groups of agitators, but it also has some good side of it. Like the Labour Party, for instance, the only thing good about the Labour Party is that the people who are always outside political zone, who never take politics serious, largely people from the southern eastern part of the country, and then some who are extreme on religious ground, who never pay attention to political development. With this is movement, they are now into it, but there's nothing like them getting winning. They are too far away from winning because of the obvious reason. Number one, politics is about winning people's soul. You don't want someone to vote you, which you don't have a gun to put on his head. You're threatening him. You don't say anything good about him, and you arrogate goodness to yourself. You call people name, evil, devil, and when in the real life they also have a meaning to how you live with them. So that in itself is a negative thing. And some group also from the north who are against issue of either religion, either say Muslim or Christian, all those things are negative things. But if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is able to win today, it's a victory to Nigeria, it's a victory to black man. Because that means all those people hiding behind religion for their selfish interests, of course, nothing for the country, will now have to see that that's not a ticket to go, not ticket to bring religion, Muslim. There's no country in the world apart from Lebanon that talks about either president should be this to no. In fact, it's unconstitutional, undemocratic for anybody to say such a thing. But you see, we're still suffering from the colonial hangover, where people are still go back to their tribal mentality and religious way that a white man want us to be. He cornered us so that we'll not be able to think and we'll never even come out of it. Even what does religion has to do with who become president? It happened in the history, in the past history. We have a war going to election with Christian. We have Zeke going to election with Christian. We have so it has been happening several times, and it has never been a problem. So why today, in the middle of the game, and people will bring up that thing because they cannot win? And if we go back to 1992, same fear was raised. That is when Abiola and Kingibe were emerged as a presidential candidate. And people say they will not win, but they won. Before the military took advantage of that reason for other reasons and then annulled the election. And they took us back to square A in political movement. But if that had, I think this is what built up to today's election. That trial of Kingibe and Abiola now give people a test that this can work. And then they try to do it again. Bola Tinubu seeing Buhari to have 12 million votes consistently, but largely from the north, now merge with him and do him a favor, will I say, political give and take. Now, and I think it's only right if Tinubu has given, it's only right if he's giving back. And I know a lot of people try to make fun of it.
What makes you think that Tinubu is the right person to manage this complex country called Nigeria right now, with the situation of right now? Give us reasons.
Very simple reason. Now, if not Tinubu, maybe you said Atiku. But let's take the two other candidates that are strong again, which is Kwankwaso and what do you call it, Obi. Obi is not qualified to even become a regional something. Because if you look at the history of the man Obi, he's just restricted to East. Maybe the only place he stepped out is Lagos. And you can't bring someone like that to think of being a president. I don't know if Obi has five. I have more than 15 friends from Igbo extraction. I have more than 15 friends from rivers, from all over the country. But I don't think Obi himself, this man Obi, can boast of 5 friends from the north. And you want such person to come. And don't forget that there is a history of Duarin Sedona. Sedona made a friendship with the Zik, NCNC, and NMPC, which accumulate to Zik getting the president, while Tafawa Balewa was a prime minister. What happened? The same people with the same agitation had to find that they had to cut down Sedona and Tafawa Balewa and all those people that dragged them closer and go against the Yorubas. They had to plan a coup, they know, and they didn't tell them. Let's say they are not even involved. So, and that does not tell good of them. And before that election, 1960, the same way the Igbos are insulting people, that's what they are doing now. So the unfortunate thing for the younger generation of labor people is that they didn't go back to 1960 and see what was said of their people doing to other people. Our people used to tell us that when you go to Igbo man shop, he even has a god to touch your pocket that do you have money for entering. If you don't have a why do you enter his shop? This is the kind of arrogancy they were exhibiting. And they went into war, and many Nigerians died, but they had the most hit. And you see a young man again going the same old road again. Now the next fear is that after the election, if they accept the verdict and move forward, which is what we pray for, but if they continue with the same agitation, it's going to be very ugly for Nigeria, and especially for them. Because as it is, the arrangement today, you find out that in the olden days, you see movement of Hausa people to Shagamu, to Lagos, to even your area to go and buy python and stuff like that. And I see younger people from Yoruba land in the north, the Edo, Auchi people are all here. But the thing is going down now. Largely, everybody wants to depend on himself. And the Obi area is one of the areas that's very unfriendly to all other Nigerians. And unfortunately, they are one of the area that any young man growing up after finishing secondary school or university, he dare not stay in his village. He has to move to up north or Lagos, or if you have a chance, to Japa, like they used to call it. So you can see, if I were them, there shouldn't be any attempt to make any, they should lobby, power you lobby. If you don't have the number, you lobby. They say in New York, there's no king, no queen. It's about number. So it's same thing in politics. Whether you are PhD, whether this man is a stark illiterate, whether you are the prince, whether he's a servant or a cleaner, whether you are the richest person on the earth, whether the poorest person on the earth, you all have one vote. So number is a major factor. And as it is today in Nigeria, it's clear. From 1960 to today, the North has the number. So if you don't have the number, what do? You lobby. You do something that like Tinubu is doing now, for people to win confidence of the people, so that the people will see reason why you should go around. If some argue that since the independence of the country, someone from the eastern part is not a president. Well, it's a good argument, but is he ready? No. If he is ready, he should move. Somebody from the south. Goodluck Jonathan was the president of the country. Yakub Gowon was a minority, a Christian minority. He was a leader, though military, but he didn't go there. Other people have forced him to do the coup and put him there. So you know what to do if you want to get the president. You drop all those things, open up your area, be friendly, stop all this education, stop threatening people, because you are weak as it is, because we see it. Militarily, you are weak. economically you depend largely to come and open your shops up north and up west, that means you are weak economically. So you are not in a position to treat anybody on the of getting power. Because the only way you can get it is to get the military if you are strong, to go and squeeze anybody's heart and take over the power. And the history hasn't shown us that they have capability to twist the power from anybody in the country. So you are left with the option of lobbying. Change what is it that you're doing that is not good? Change it. So this is, I think, the lay foundation I would say about what is happening in Nigeria.
Mr. Answer, let's
Mm.
bring somebody else to this program to join us because I know that you are supporting APC. Let's bring Labour Party on board.
Then you're
If you are
welcome.
watching, let's talk to the audience. If you are watching right now and you want to be a part of today's discussion, let me know. I can send you the link and use the link to join the program. Let me even send them the link now. Let me put the link here so that they can use it to join.
Mm.
Where's the link? Create the link. Okay. So that they join, right? We want to hear from people,
Welcome.
right? Mm. So if you are watching right now, I'm trying to share it because I was so busy yesterday. I didn't invite Mr. Uraka and others. Let's see. Let's hear from Nigerians what exactly they think would be the prospect of this upcoming of this election. They have already voted anyway. So
Mm.
the prospect of the results. So when will the results be out? Do you know when the result will be out, Mr.
So
Hansa?
still the poll are still on. It's not until they close down the poll, then they will go and do the counting. Then before, but this system, I think this will be on the computer. But for you to accurately get the result, it might take up to maybe like Friday. Then you can see the direction of the results. Then for you to have accurate results declared as a president for the presidential candidate, it will take up
Mm,
to Friday.
mm. It when
It
will
will
the
take,
result be out?
no, I can't. It's logistical something. Normally, traditionally, to reach up to maybe Friday. Next
Friday?
week. Yes, because
Oh,
right now you see the result is moving from the polling unit, then to
mm,
the wards, then maybe to the local government, then whatever is in the local government will come to the states. Then finally, the state in Abuja will start. Each state will start submitting its own result one by one. So before they will compile those results, so all of this activity will take not less than 3 4 days because result will be going to local government today, maybe
mm,
tomorrow. Before local government to state, it might take maybe Friday, Monday. So there will be a lot of compilation and stuff like that, and logistic too, because some it's all over Nigeria. Some by the time you close the poll today, maybe by 6 o'clock, and I had the rule is that if you are on the queue, even if it's 1 o'clock at night, they will let you vote. So before they will finally close down the poll, it's definitely going to be towards 10 to 9. And some other places, the roads are not good. Some they use boats, some they use. So logistically, it has to be, result will have to go to some local government. Local government can compile its own total result maybe by tomorrow, especially the south south where there's riverine area. Before it gets to the creeks or to the local to the headquarters of the local government, it definitely has to be up to tomorrow
mm.
because
Okay.
as, as of now the vote is still going on across the country.
Mm. So let's hear from somebody else. If you are watching right now and you have any insight about this election, Just leave your comments in the comment section. And if you want to join us, you are free to do that. I've already produced the link. You can use that link to join the program. And let's discuss about this election. So who do we think will win the election? Somebody told me that some people from Niger were caught in Nigerian border trying to cross to the country to vote.
That is
So it's like they are selling Nigerian election cards, voters cards to people outside the country to come and vote. Yeah, something like that. That's what somebody told me today.
that's a defeatist idea. That is a
Mm.
defeatist, somebody who have already lost. Because let's take Canada you are now. If there's election in Canada, there are a lot of non-Canadian or people who are originally not from Canada that will vote. So that should not be a problem. The same thing with America. The same thing with UK. No country will say to go into election is only the citizens are there because people are becoming citizens of different nations. In fact, some Nigerians are standing election in USA. Some Nigerians are standing election in UK. So what makes the difference? What makes if you think a Nigerian can go and vote in the United States or in UK and it's okay, and you think Cameroonian cannot vote in Nigeria, I think it's bad. Well, it's illegal, but what we're trying to say is a normal, part of the unwanted normal. A
Mm.
lot of people get to America without the proper paper. So get to UK without proper paper. It's not new. And it's not something that people should bring it as a question. Unless the person just have nothing to say. Because in fact, Trump's regime is talking about building a wall between Mexico and America. There's been over the years and years that Americans go into America illegally, illegal aliens. So what's new about it? There's nothing new about it. Even
You gave
Canada
me that
people,
it's normal. It's okay. It's okay for
it's
them
happening all
to.
over the world. In Canada, people are getting there. They are not original Canadian. So what is new about it?
No, what we are saying here, not just about crossing to Nigeria, that these people were coming to vote in Nigeria. So they were intercepted and
Anybody
returned
who
back
says
in
anybody
border.
who says this is just being mischievous because voting does not start a day. The registration, the voting system, the computer they are using is not just a day. It's not like a free war. You have to see your name, you have to have address, you have to must have been registered long before now. It's not just 1 week or 2 week registration. Anybody who is voting today must have been registered not less than a year. So, and if you stay Nigerian law, Nigerian constitution, if you even leave your state and stay in a different state for 2 years, you're entitled to vote. So I have West African treaty where that allowed West African to move freely.
Move freely is different from this, what we are talking about right now. This
What
one is
I'm saying
for
today,
coming to Nigeria to
I'm
cast their
sure
ballot,
in
which
the southern border of America, there are people Mexican getting to America. Today, right now, I'm certainly sure there are a lot of Mexicans crossing to America. There are a lot of people getting into America illegally today as we're talking now. So why Nigeria is so different? It means Nigeria is attractive. It means we're doing well. People normally run away from a bad country. If people are coming to our country, it means we're doing better than their countries. That's the fact.
that
So
that is not what we meant here. That they are crossing because Nigeria is better than their country. Blah blah blah. We are talking about the election malpractices. That inviting people outside the
you
country
see,
to come and vote is illegal.
election, John, I don't know when you last voted in Nigeria. You don't just come and vote today. You don't just come today and vote. No, you must have been in Nigeria for some time, must have been registered. That's how it is. Your picture, your thumbprints are all there. And that's what we're saying. And I can assure you in Canadian election, there are a lot of Nigerians who vote, who will vote. There are a lot of Ghanaian who vote. There are a lot of Cameroonian who vote in Canada. So why they are all not different? Why they are all different than our own? Because somebody who cannot make it want to shift the goalposts. That's what I say. In Dubai, there are a lot of Nigerians who are voting in Dubai. There are a lot of Nigerians voting in UK, in France, and everywhere. Malian, Chadian, Moroccans, they are all voting there. And how are you sure that if they come to vote, the vote is going to be advantageous to one party or the other party? How do you know who they are supporting? How do you know who sponsored them to come? It's just an assumption or a failure syndrome. Yeah, because you already know you're failing. That's why you keep people still looking for points. Because if you say they're African, Cameroonians are very close to the border of the East. How are we sure some Cameroonians are not voting in Nigeria? Hmm?
Yeah, I say sorry. I was talking to someone here. I said that is what I was told.
Yeah,
This morning.
it's insignificant that Nigerians, of course, see, it's very clear from the beginning if you know the terrain of Nigerian voting pattern.
Mm.
Number one, you should know people like who are mostly complaining will be largely Obi people. And let me give you this narration. Look at the voting pattern. Anambra election. The whole total vote for both loser and winner is around 400 something thousand. The winner win with 200 something thousand. The same thing Abia, Imo, all of those states, the 5 states of the East, who are dying for Obi, who are talking about Obi, they are not up to 2 million. Their vote is not up to 2 million. Maybe it may be up to 2 million. It may be up to 2 million now because of so many people who are not used to voting that are coming to the voting now. But I can assure you it's not going to up to 3 million. But do you know Kano State alone has registered 4 million votes?
Because you know why? If we have to do
No, it's
projection
number. It's
of
about
this
number.
election, they said that before anyone can win the election, you must win Lagos, Port Harcourt, River
No,
State,
no,
and
no,
uh,
that's not
and
the truth. That's not,
Kano. So those
see,
three core states are very important to
no,
win
see,
the
what they
election
are,
in Nigeria.
people who are saying that don't really understand what they are saying. They are talking about the size of the people, the size of the voting. The voting has been, if you want to follow, it has to be Kano number one, sometimes Lagos, sometimes Sokoto. Some Rivers only came into being when Goodluck Jonathan was there. This is the only time they registered 1 million, you know, and that one was rigged, was openly rigged. Apart from that, River has never got 1 million votes. So let's look at it now. Look at how it is. Kano,
So we have somebody here with us. Someone just joined us. Hello.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What
Let
is
me let me let me learn my analysis.
hmm,
What the constitution said that you must get 25% of the 24 states for you to be declared president. And the same thing with America. If you go to Bill Clinton, Trump and Clinton wife,
hmm.
Trump get less votes, get less votes than the lady, than the Clinton's wife. But in electoral votes, Trump have the highest.
Yes, popular vote. Yes, she didn't.
So
Yes, she
in
won the
Nigeria,
popular
what it
vote,
means, see,
while Donald
yes,
Trump
so,
won the
so what it means
electoral
in
vote. Yes.
Nigeria, see, what it means in Nigeria is that even if you have the highest votes, let's say Tinubu now have the highest votes, if you didn't get 25% of the 24 states, it's still not, he hasn't won it. That's what it's all about. And what we're saying about number, you see, Northwest alone, Northwest alone have registered voters, registered expected voters of 9 million. Southeast alone have almost 250 registered voters, 250, 2.5 registered voters. You see, Lagos, East, West, this will have 6 million voters. Yes, Northwest, North Central. So when you do those calculations, I can assure you, if you go to polling station, I'm in the middle of the city, you don't see any single person for Obi. Single one person, you don't see him here. They are not there. There's not there, almost zero. I can assure you, may have zero vote for Obi here. And this is where the strong vote matters. This is where you need to get like 700,000, 800,000. But I can tell you, Obi's town, in Obi's state, Obi cannot make 400,000. So if you put Anambra, Enugu State, Abia State, Imo State, and Ebonyi State all together, give all the vote. No, don't give it to anybody. Give it all to Obi. The votes that we cannot produce is more than that.
Mr. Anza, let me ask you this question. What do you think is very important about APC right now that is very, very attractive to Nigerians? Tell
Very
me,
good.
with the situation of the country right now, look at even money. People cannot get money. People have been calling me, saying that they can't get money. The changing of Naira or whatever Naira notes, the people are not get currency. They deposited their money in the bank. Now that they want to use their money, and some POS are charging 4,000 to get 10,000. So the country is in crisis. Insecurity has been ravaging the lives of people over these years. What exactly is very attractive? What do you
Let's,
think APC
let's
has
one by
done
one.
for the people
Take
that
it one by one.
makes you think that
Take it one by
this
one.
country can be
You see,
run by APC, another APC candidate
see,
again? Go ahead.
let's take it one by one. Which one do you want to talk about? Is it the currency or the insecurity? Let me take one.
Currency and the insecurity.
No, let's take one by one. I'll take all. Let's take the currency. Now, the same people who are complaining that some people are using money to win election. And I can assure you that the money that you need, 10, 20,000 to move around, or 5,000 to move around, is available. Even an onion woman, people who sell tomatoes and this thing, they do take, we have a lot of facility now, or pay, so many systems are coming out. They can transfer and buy, even Coke you can transfer and buy whatever you want to buy. So
So do
what's the
you
problem?
mean that there is no crisis,
Let me
there's
finish.
no
The
shortage of
world, and
naira
ask the
currency
question.
right
Ask
now
the,
in the country? Ah,
ask the question, you should
you
give
have
me
to
the,
be realistic.
no, you ask the question, you need the answer. So let me give you the answer. If you are not satisfied, you can ask again. But let me give you the answer. You talk about currency, and I'm trying to address the currency issue. The world itself is going to cashless society. Number two, there is a rumor or there is a large belief by all sectors, all sections of Nigeria that people buy votes. So because of use of money, good people with good integrity could not stand election, could not win election. Now, here comes APC government. Now said, remove this election. If you have 10 million, you can go and bank it. If you are sure, you can account for how you get the money. And these are things that are happening in other nations of America and the rest. There are issues I cannot just go and just bought into UK or anything with 10 million I want to buy. They will investigate me. Now, they wanted to change the money. People wanted to take the money to go and do election. Did you know people, some politicians talk in money as high as 28 billion, 20 billion naira? They buy police, they buy INET, they buy everybody. Let me give you how it works, the evil of
Okay,
money.
okay. I think I understand you now. Do you mean that the shortage of naira in the
The one
country
it was intended to control.
is to regulate election,
Yes,
regulate corruption during election
yes.
period?
And there's so much money in the bank. When you have much money in the bank will do better. people can borrow money to the bank. The people are taking money into their houses.
Okay.
So economically,
But
APC
you know, said
what?
Nigerians are starving in the country because of shortage of
Nobody
this
can
right now.
let me
People are
honestly.
starving. It's not
No,
funny. Some
no,
people
no.
have been killed. People have been
Listen,
killed because they were rioting in banks across the country,
no,
and police
nobody was killed.
fire
How
on
many people?
some of the
Nobody was
protesters,
killed.
killed people. I
No,
saw pregnant women in the bank get naked and everything. All those things that are going on in the country is as a
listen
result of the
now.
of this
Listen,
current
Nigeria is
of the of-
250 million.
let
Nigeria is
me
250 million. I've seen almost 5 videos. Somebody going naked, somebody opening shirt. There are only 5 out of 250 million people. How many people get shot in America today? Just today, Saturday. How many people will get shot dead in America today compared to the number you are quoting? How many people get shot in UK today, just today, Saturday,
because
compared
of
to
crisis, because of a currency crisis, or what do you know, or
no,
you are talking
you
about crime
can't care.
in general?
What
Are you talking about crime in general? Crime is different.
you
We are
said
when
people
it
are
comes to
no,
crime,
listen.
crime is inevitable in any society. So
No,
when
you
we talk
said,
about crime in general, it's a different thing we can
you
compare.
said
But
people have been
we're
killed.
talking about the
You said
crisis of
people.
lack of notes currency in the
No,
country.
no. Okay, you want me to be the
Okay,
money. What
you
they
said
were doing. Listen to me now. What they were doing here, and that was the beginning when the new note was around, was cast, is that if you want to withdraw or take money from POS, instead of them to the tradition is that you take 10,000, they take 100 naira. So what they were doing, they were only giving 2,000. Each 2,000 you take 100 naira. This is what they are doing here. But I was told in the south, and that's another topic again, that give a bad record, bad reputation about the South. They say in the South, if you want to remove 5,000, you give them 2,000. It's not government who made it, it's the people of the South that do that. It's nobody forced them, it's common man that is cheating common man. If in Kano, you can come, if you want to remove 2,000, they'll take 100,000, 100 naira, which ideally is for 10,000. Now they are taking 100 naira for 2,000. So instead of paying, that is the what they're doing. Instead of paying 100 naira to get your 10,000, now you're going to pay 500 naira to get 10,000. But the same thing they say in the south, especially in the east, they ask you to pay 2,005. It's not government who's doing it. It's not police. It's not army. It's not federal government. It's the people, their mind, the way they think that they're doing that to themselves. Yes, it's the people who does that to themselves. So you
you know
cannot blame Buhari.
when
Mhm.
the system is not properly regulated by the government, what do you think?
How can you regulate
People
the
will
system?
abuse the policy, they will abuse the system because there's no regulation. So you don't blame
The
individual, you
mindset
blame the
is a
government
mindset.
not
See,
regulating.
I've
Uh,
lived in the South. I know what that is a mindset. People will want to take advantage of little things, much more
look,
to the extent.
you know why crime rate is very low in some Western countries is because of the regulation. If you allow the system, if you allow loopholes in the system, people will definitely abuse the system. So
See,
that is why you don't blame individual. I'm in
see,
Canada. Yeah, Canada is a country whereby if you have criminal record, you cannot get a job. Not that you cannot get a job, but it will be very difficult for you to get some
yes,
really prominent
well,
and good jobs.
I
So,
agree
but
on that.
in Nigeria,
No,
they say people can commit crime and still get a better job. Still get a better job. They can do whatever because there's no system that regulates
no, no.
all this in
Let
the
me give you
country.
an example.
So there
Let
is
me
a
give you.
difference between the
Let me give
Western world
you. It
and
doesn't have. You
Nigeria,
see,
for instance.
it doesn't have to do
Huh?
with government. It doesn't have to do with government. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was watching one video. Somebody said the 10 Yahoo musicians in Nigeria. Did you know that in some part of this country, I don't want to call name, they are proud to be criminal. This is fraudster, Yahoo. People will respect them. People honor them.
That is what we are repeating the same thing again. If the
Yes,
system
not government.
is
This is not
functioning,
government. It's the people. It's the
security
people now.
operatives are working, doing their jobs, these crimes that we are complaining about will be minimized, even eradicated. I'm telling you, crime is inevitable in any society, even here in the West. People
Then the
commit
same
crime
thing.
every day.
See, the
But
government,
if the laws, if the laws are effective, it will reduce crime rates.
laws are
That is
there.
what
Laws
we're
are
talking about.
there. Laws in Nigeria are there. If you have criminal record, the sentence you will be taken is there. But what I'm trying to tell you is that is the people. Now, for instance, majorly, even in Canada, you're saying more than 60% of the job are privately owned. Only maybe 40 or 30 something percent is government owned. In government job, you cannot come, you are having the record of Yahoo and this, they'll give you a job. They won't give you that. So now the private people who's supposed to imbibe that into their own way of life. If you want to marry my daughter, you're a criminal, I won't give you. You want to have us. So they don't. They celebrate that. In some section of this country, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you have the money, they celebrate you. Even if you kill people to get that money, they don't care. So those are not government. Government cannot control that. It's a cultural thing.
What do you mean government cannot control that? Mr. Sani, are you kidding me? Government
They can't.
cannot control, government
Government
cannot
cannot tell
control
you
crime.
that if this guy is 419, he comes, you
Yes.
want to marry your daughter, you shouldn't give him. Government cannot do that. It's people, it's people. The government cannot tell you not to vote for somebody who is now. Look at some of this, all of this.
I know that morality can be difficult to regulate, but you know why this country where we are here in the West, we consider this country as a developed because the government has been able to regulate morality to a certain extent. I know that you cannot totally regulate morality because you don't stay with people, you don't sleep with people in their
Okay,
houses.
let me,
What they
let
do.
me give you an example again where
It's hard
of
to
Western world.
regulate myself.
Let me give you
But
an example of
the government has done so well to regulate morality to a certain extent. But in Nigeria, the laws are not effective. The laws are there in theory. We need those laws to be practicalized, in order
let
to
me,
regulate morality.
let me give you this thing. In Canada, I've never been to Canada, but I've been to other country, but and I can show you now, if you are misbehaving in your house or you're making noise in your neighbor can take a phone and report you to the police.
Exactly, yes.
Can that happen here in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, because the
People are
system is
policing
programmed
you.
for people to
People
call.
are policing
If you
you.
call police in Nigeria,
And
for
that's at
instance,
the government.
someone is making noise, they will tell you are crazy. Making noise is
Let me
enough.
tell you
You
what
can't
my
even
team-
you can't even talk
what
to
I'm
the
saying.
police on the phone because the system is not functioning. That is
It's not
what
the,
we're talking
it's
about.
the people. See the point I'm trying to make. It's the people. Even in Canada, you can commit a crime that ordinary police cannot see it. If your neighbor can report you. In Nigeria, if you commit the same crime, they will cover you. So is it government? That's what I'm saying.
You see, they
They
will
will
cover.
cover you.
No, they don't cover.
Nobody is
I don't
talking
think.
from. See, let's look at the straight record now. The three major candidates, that is Bola Tinubu, Atiku, and let's say Obi, all of them have some issue that people say is wrong or right. People tie it to either legal or not legal or convicted or not convicted. So when you see somebody from Tinubu will not see, I voted for Tinubu because his good side is more than whatever it is. But you see somebody supporting Obi will not agree that Obi has criminal record of drugs, of Panam, Pandro, and so many things that In other countries, you won't be allowed to stand election. The same thing is said of Tinubu of drugs. The same thing is said of Atiku of SUV. Those things cannot work in other countries. But you see their supporters, don't look at that. Now, no, you see, they keep saying lies. If you come to Kano, if you know Kano, between Kwankwaso and Ganduje now, the development, I can tell you, they constructed overhead bridge, not more than this Ganduje. I'm not his fan anyway. He has constructed more than seven overhead bridge. Standard holders is the best in the country. Equipments of CT, MRI, import. Has that happened in Anambra? No, it's no.
Let's look at this. Mr. Sani, we have discussed enough. Let me quickly check some clips coming from Nigeria today from some poly boats. Let's see if we can see what is going on in other channels. Those who are on ground. Let's see what they are doing. And if there is any clip, any meaningful clip from the election, let me see.
I was trying to tell you the patterns before you get your clip. Patterns of where the election is going to head and based on their strength. So I started with the number of population, the votes. The vote that we expect to come from the northwest, southwest is around 5 to 6 million. The vote we're expecting to come from the southeast, let's give and take, is up to 4 million. The vote we expect to come from south is around the same 3 million. I'm not talking about the sharing now. The vote we're expecting to come from the north central, which you call middle belt, is around 4 million. The vote we're expecting to come from the northeast is 7 million. The support we're expecting to come from the northwest is 8 to 9 million. Now, if you divide those 6 geographical geopolitical zones, if you give Labour Party east and south, all of them, they are less than 5 million. You get the degree. I'm not saying how it's going to happen, but look at it now. But if you give Tinubu northwest and northeast, it's going to have around 11 million. Not even Yoruba land, just remove them. So how do you tell me how can somebody be speaking of Obi? Because Obi is not here. In fact, let me tell you something. The whole structure of Labour Party in Kano, who they were in Labour Party before Obi joined them, gubernatorial candidate, House of Rep, they have all left Labour Party because of the bad effect of new supporters of Labour Party. They have moved to Tinubu. The gubernatorial candidate, the Senate, all of them are now moved to APC. So what's the hope? And the worst thing that I said one time in one of the shows, the worst thing that you think that there are a lot of Easterners in Kano. Yes, there are a lot of Easterners in Kano. But they did something now that they are doing against themselves. When it comes to population, anything that has to do to government, they will not be participants. We're complaining that if census come, they want to register, then you go to Igbo people, they'll lock their house, they will not be, they don't want to participate in the census. And most of them don't participate in the political election. So you can as well say it's 0.0 something what Obi can get from these big states, which one of them enough is more than the whole East that he's getting. That is it. I heard Karaka saying all those things, just saying, this is I'm saying, keep it down. By Friday, you see what I'm lying or I'm telling you the truth. Even in Jos that he's claiming, Obi cannot win Jos. Yes, he cannot. Because see, the Jos, they have small towns, then they have big town, which is Jos. In the big town, it's largely the Hausa Fulani that are there. It's only the bigger land, the the small towns around this thing that is occupied by other tribes. You see? So if you look at Bruno, Bruno produce 1 million votes. Anambra cannot produce 500 votes, whether for Obi or for anybody. Anambra cannot produce 500 votes. Kwara, don't forget Kwara is in the north. It's purely Yoruba. And where you can think of Obi can make any effort in Lagos is Lagos. And the way things are going on in Lagos, the Lagos people will make it difficult for even them to vote. This is a fact.
I
And
think
then,
Tinubu have the chances of winning Lagos because
no,
he owns Lagos.
it's not
He has,
chances.
he has been
Chances is background.
managing Lagos and he has turned Lagos to his personal belonging. So
That's not that is not true because democracy, anybody can get attraction, can get support. He didn't force anybody to support him. Now the young boys who are supporting Obi did not force them to support them. So you don't it's not right to say all those people who are supporting Obi now, Obi has turned it to his personal property. It's just that he suits what is what they like. Well, the same thing with Tinubu. If what he's doing is what majority of the Westerners like, fine. That's
let's
democracy.
yes, sir, Mr. Sani, let's look at what is going on ground. I find
There's
one
somebody,
video. During election like
somebody,
this, sometimes it's hard for you to believe some of the videos. People used to pull out old videos from previous elections and be
yes.
sharing during election period like this. I'm not sure if this one is for today. It's very difficult for me to believe. But anyway, let's just play it and see. Austin, thank you for joining the program. Thank you. So many people are trying to join this program, but they cannot log in. I've seen some people
Thank you very much for having me.
join.
Then you have to
Um,
light up. Maybe your
huh?
lighting.
You
The
said
lighting of the lighting in the Austin's room. The light,
okay. We cannot see
like
his face properly, right? Yeah.
on the platform, is showing dollars. That's why. Maybe you can put on. Anyway, it's okay. We can listen to his voice.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me play this video, Mr. Sunny. Let me play this. Let's
Sure.
see.
If you don't be vote APC for a year, go your house. Nobody force you come here. Go house, so if I see you vote another, I will call look am. If I see you vote another party, go enter our house. You no come joke for here. This territory where you dey na APC o. Go your house. Go relax. If you don't be vote APC for a year, go your house. Nobody force you come here. Go house, so if I see you vote another, I will call look am. If I see you vote another party, go enter our house. You no come joke for here. This territory where you dey na APC o. Go your house. Go relax.
So that is how bad it was today. So APC is doing their needful there because this is just a normal thing during election period. Mostly the APC and PDP, they are used to rigging elections. So I saw that over and over again, even the last election in Ondo State, when APC was offering the highest amount of money to voters. People traveled all the way from their villages out to the town to collect money. Both the APC and PDP were offering money, but APC was offering the highest amount of money. Even some of them were even not negotiating.
Don't you see the
Some of them were. Let
irony?
me finish. Let me finish. Some of the voters were shopping for the candidates that would give them the highest amount of money, and APC happens to be offering more money. So majority of them voted for APC. They didn't even care about the prospect of their vote. They don't care about what will be the outcome of the election. What they came for, just you can see how poverty is deeply rooted in the system. People have no choice during election period just because of money, because they are poor. Ask me how much they were giving them. It was between 5,000 to 10,000. So someone can just sell his future and the future of his children and children, unborn children, just because of 5,000. You can see how poverty has reduced that country to nothing. Austin, 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 can you hear me? I don't think Austin can hear us. Mr.
Thank you for having clearly. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can
Austin,
hear
you
you.
saw what the video I just played, where they intimidated somebody. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. She was intimidated because they said either she vote for APC or just go back home, because that polling unit belongs to APC. Nobody is allowed to vote for any other political party. So you can see how election malpractices continue to dominate Nigerian elections. So I'm not sure if this one is coming from this to this election. Probably, during election period like this, we have seen so many videos, old people pull out old videos. Anyway, be that it may, at least they mentioned APC in the video. It just shows that APC is at the top of rigging elections in Nigeria. So go ahead, Mr. Austin. Go ahead. Austin, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Thank you very much for having me. I don't know. You can hear me clearly, right? You can hear me clearly, right?
I can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Go ahead.
The truth is this. The truth is this. I was expecting this to happen, because for Tinubu to win Lagos State, he has to be through this violence or anything same from Tinubu and his boys in Lagos. So for this that happened in Lagos today, I'm not. If these boys can make some of this threat on video in the presence of a law enforcement officer, when Tinubu is not the president yet, imagine what they would do with somebody like Tinubu as the president. Why you see them do this thing openly is because their principle is just what they are now. So don't expect anything less. If INEC really wants to really decide in this election, a state like Lagos State, Rivers State, and Kogi State, that we've seen a lot of videos where talk should be cancelled, and they should do a rerun in those states. And doing a rerun, there should be a lot of security agents to mark all the place, and people like MC Alomo should vote and tell them to go home. We don't need to. We are talking of democracy. You cannot sincerely talk about the democracy when the people cannot boldly vote, when the people cannot vote freely, when talks are there to push them away. Like some of the videos are circulating where in somewhere in Lagos, where they say Igbos should go to their village to go and vote. And we are saying we are one in Nigeria. Is that not funny? And the people making all these statements were making all these statements on camera. People have their record. And today they are still there. Security officers are there. And nobody's been arrested. Is that not funny? To even say somebody should not vote at all, the person that openly said that should be arrested immediately and should be locked up. This is democracy. What is democracy when the people cannot emphasize their rights, cannot go outside to vote freely? Then we shouldn't be talking about democracy. If they can easily say the Igbos should not vote and they should not do this, they should go back to their village and all that, then there's no need of us being one. Then there's no country like Nigeria then. Then there's no country like Nigeria then. If truly these are the set of people that Peter Obi does not have structure. Saying this does not have structure, this does not have structure. They were forgetting one thing. I've been saying this thing for years. If you take vote buying away from our politics and take this talk really away from our politics, you will see that 99.9% of our politicians are empty. They don't have anything at all. They don't have anything to win. That's poverty. They are so weaponized illiteracy that they cannot play into the mind of these people. And look at the people that they are using. Some of these, they are touts. Is it not funny? Imagine what will become of a country like Nigeria when people are fighting like this to make somebody president. The people that are they not the one that
Hello, Mr. Austin. It's like your network has some issue. Maybe your network has some issue. So maybe can I say something before you come back?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Sunny. Yeah.
One, I want to correct the notion you have, Nekpe, about Nigeria before that of Austin.
begin?
No, okay, because so that before you come back, number one, Nigeria are not poor. That is not true. I've traveled abroad, I've seen it's not true that people are saying poverty. No, not true. The whole world there is a problem, there are a lot of insecurity, there's no money, but Nigeria, we are not as poor as they try to print us. And that is those statistics that what you call someone like Obi is giving wrong statistics. Nigerians have houses to stay, they have accommodation, they eat, they have land, they have place to work. They are only, if you tell me Nigerians are lazy, that's okay. Because poverty is about equity rights. Do you own the land? Do you own means of production? Nigeria all have this. So it's not proper for anybody. It's a lie, it's a myth that they used to sell. That Nigerians are poor. No, we are not poor. Go to Mali, go to Niger, go to Chad, go to Central Africa to see what poverty is. The kind of car we drive, even Americans don't drive it. The kind of clothes we wear, Americans don't wear such clothes. The kind of big houses we stay, Americans don't stay in such big houses. So you don't bring this analogy, you combine naira to dollar, and then you say because America say if you don't have this amount of dollar, you are poor, and apply it to Nigeria. That is not fair. I'll give you an example. Someone like me in UK, you can earn as high as £3,000. I'll give you an example. I'm licensed UK licensed practitioner. £3,000. If you want to bring it to Nigeria and transfer the money, it's more than 2 million per month, huh? But that's not the reality. The reality is that this £3,000, someone of my own status, if I want to rent a house a month, it's from 900 to 1,500 pounds. Out of that 3,000, what is remaining? I'll pay tax like 400 pounds. What is remaining? If I want to wash my car, it's 20 pounds per car. Then all of that, you find out that it's just a figure. But if you bring it to Nigeria, let's say I'm earning 200,000 in Nigeria. 200,000. If you break down the house rent, let's say you own a house, it's not going to be more than 16,000 per month in the house that I pay. And if you wanted to go, only thing I know is cheap in those foreign countries is food. And people suffer, people hungry, people need, normal people have office are sleeping on the streets. It doesn't happen in Nigeria. It's happening in America, it's happening in UK. They don't have money to pay the rent. They end up on the street. They still go to work. This is what we call poverty. People still ask you, good morning, sir, can I have penny for a tea? It doesn't happen like that. You know, people beg, but those people beg, if you bring them and stand them and you start saying, you find they have more money in their pockets. They made it a profession. So all those wrong analysis, wrong data doesn't work. The kind of energy you put to work in UK, Canada, and America, if you can put the same energy in Nigeria, you earn bigger money.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Okay. How much is minimum wage in Nigeria?
I think it's around 30,000.
Okay. What can a minimum wage in Nigeria buy for somebody? Can he buy a bag of rice?
Must you have to eat rice?
No, I'm coming. I'm asking question. I'm heading somewhere, sir. Can he buy a bag of rice?
Yes, you can
No,
buy a bag of rice here.
Which bag of rice? How much is a bag of rice now in
What
Nigeria?
bag of rice are you saying? Are you talking about 50 kg or 25 kg?
Yes, I'm talking of numbers
Must
that the
we
50
eat
kg that
bag
we
of
know
rice?
of bag of rice. How much is it?
Now? Because this is analysis that Peter B is confusing you
I'm
with.
coming, sir. I'm coming. I'm
It's something
heading
which is not real.
somewhere.
Mhm.
I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. How much is 50 kg bag of rice in the UK?
I don't know.
How much is 50 kg bag of rice in the UK? I'm telling you.
Food is
Okay.
cheap.
We are saying, see,
Food is
whether we like it or not, sir. See, sir, whether we like it or not, sir. Nigeria is a poor country. For on earth,
It's
where
not before.
30,000, I'm coming now, sir. What can 30? No,
The
sir.
UK
People should cannot eat.
Nigeria.
Wait, sir. People cannot eat. People shouldn't eat rice. Do you know if you take 10,000 naira to the market in Nigeria now,
You see, this is why
can't buy anything?
because listen, you've asked a question. Let me ask you
But
now.
I want to ask
You
you.
see, let me ask you and answer you. Let me ask you. This is why people like Obi are dangerous because they will scam your brain. Listen now. Where are you from? I'm from Kano. Where are you from?
Okay.
Where are you from? I'm not trying. You are from Benin. Did you know Benin people? Good, very good. I like it. Do you know Benin people eat gari more
I'm from
than
Benin.
rice traditionally?
I'm from Benin.
Did you know that?
I understand.
No,
Benin
let's
people eat gari more than rice.
let's understand
How
that.
much is gari in the market?
Listen now. Let's agree. Let's agree on something. Did you know Benin people are one of the people who eat gari like anybody in Nigeria? So your common food is gari.
Yes.
Is that not? So you should use the
Yes.
common food to
Yes. Yes.
So you should ask you how much is the
Okay. Let me use my common food to tell you now.
if
Let me use my common food
this is
to
where
tell you now.
confusing
We
you
say
guys.
Nigeria is not poor, and my common food is gari.
No, this is why Obi is confusing you now. If you come, he's not going to use gari. If you tell me about rice, rice is not even your common food. It's not my common food. We use rice more than you. We cook it raw. We do masa. We do snacks. We do so many things with rice.
How
That
much
you
is
don't.
gari in the market? How much is gari in the market?
Oh, that's it. Now we can talk. Let's do analysis now. How much is gari? A bag of gari? Out of 30,000.
A bag of gari.
Uh-huh.
You know how many?
I don't eat it much, but I know on this Berkete family.
Do you know how much it is in the market?
Listen, recently, as if God knows, on this Berkete family, I was listening. Somebody said 15,000. The biggest size is 15,000 now.
15,000.
He was trying to make it right.
The
That
biggest
15,000, you can't finish it in a month. Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. How much will the person use to make a pot of? Okay, let's even take transportation to work to and fro for
Good.
about how many weeks for a
I
civil
like
work out of it?
So, let me tell you one thing. Nekpe will be here, and I want her to say the truth. Most people in UK, we trek. We trek. We trek 3 kilometers, 2 kilometers.
Okay.
We don't.
I'm coming, sir. Most people in UK will trek.
Yeah,
I'm
we
coming
trek
now,
more.
sir.
We trek more
So
than.
sorry, you just said something. Most people in UK will trek.
We trek more than.
Okay, sir. Most people in UK will trek.
We trek more. Yes, we trek more than we bought.
They can comfortably trek.
It's not comfortably. It's a tradition.
Sir,
You
people in
made
UK can comfortably trek because of the
It's
security.
not. It's not about comfortability.
When was the last time our farmers were able to go to farm in Nigeria?
See,
let's quickly play what is coming from the election. I watched one video, but I cannot play that video here.
Most of us are fake. Please, most of us are fake.
Can you hear me, Mr. Sani?
Yeah, I can hear the video.
Okay. I'm just I'm checking some videos from the election poll today.
I want
There's
to
one
argument that
yes, talk. Hello?
Go ahead.
Mr. Sani. Yeah, there's one particular video, it's too graphic. I cannot play it here. Some talks, there's some polling unit intimidates voters. So police got down one of the talks. So be able to play this one is playable. Let me play this video for everyone.
Forget about the video. We have so many. We have so many fake ones, real and fake. We have so many of them.
I know, but this one is not fake. Just listen.
You can't verify.
Listen now. Listen. Mr. Sani, listen. You have been talking since. Let's focus on this election. What is going on ground? Listen. Okay, let me play this.
Right now, we are currently at my polling unit. That's Iba Housing Estate, and they locked the gates. They said if you are not voting for APC, you can't come in. You can see. I tried entering. They almost broke my leg, but I had to just come out and do this video. I can see people that are outside. People are outside. You know, they don't want to open the gate for anybody. They don't want us to vote. We were asked to go to our polling unit so early so that we can check if our name is on the list. We are here. I've been here since 7:30. They did not allow us to go in.
Very early in the morning.
Very early in the morning. People are, if you are not Yoruba, if you don't speak Yoruba to them, if you are not APC, they are not allowing anybody to enter. I've been here for over 30 minutes and nothing is happening. So we don't know what is happening in this country. God help us. Right now, we are currently at my polling unit. That's Iba Housing Estate, and they locked the gates. They said if you are not voting for APC, you can't come in. You can see. I tried entering. They almost broke my leg, but I had to just come out and do this video. I can see people that are outside. People are outside. You know, they don't want to open the gate for anybody. They don't want us to vote. We were asked to go to our polling unit so early so that we can check if our name is on the list. We are here. I've been here since 7:30. They did not allow us to go in.
Very early in the morning.
Very early in the morning. People are, if you are not Yoruba, if you don't speak Yoruba to them, if you are not APC, they are not allowing anybody to enter. I've been here for over 30 minutes and nothing is happening. So we don't know what is happening in this country. God help us.
Mr. Sani. Hello, Mr. Sani, can you hear me? I think APC has already rigged this election. There's no doubt about that. It's the same complaint coming out from different corners. How come many videos are talking about APC alone? So it just shows that they have already rigged this election. Oh, so sad. APC has done their bidding. So Nigerians, they have no choice than accepting Tinubu as their president. Oh, please, this is not good. Guys, if you are watching right now, I want to log out. So we'll come back later. We'll come back later. So Tinubu, APC has already ring the election in favor of Tinubu. You know, and moreover, they are using their military might, I say military might, federal might to ring the election. The federal might because the incumbent party, APC. So it's very easy for them to use security operatives to ring the election. So the federal might is pretty much very obvious. Mhm. So, guys, I want to log out. We'll come back later. It's early in the morning here in Canada. All right, see you guys later.